Okay, there's a message that is wanting to come through very strongly. And I recognize that some of you will hear this and you will remember. Some of you will hear this and it will just be a reactivation of what it is that you've already remembered. And then there is going to be a group that will reject this and resist it big time. And all of that is perfect. So this has been showing up consistently in multiple couples and even in my own partnership, a very specific energetic exchange between the masculine and the feminine. And the theme of it all is that the masculine behaves in a way that lacks integrity, that feels violating, that feels like the experience of betrayal, and then there is a lack of accountability for that behavior. And the female is left feeling so betrayed, so hurt, so wounded, and angry and hurt. When something shows up in one place, that's one thing. It might be specific to those people. When something shows up multiple times in multiple spaces with multiple people, and I can even connect to it in my own experience of being in a beautiful and safe and loving partnership where two of us are willing to do the deepest level of work to take ownership for what we are co-creating and why it is coming up to create relationship alchemy to help purify us at the deepest level possible. So if we can tune in and sense those energies within us and really see to the core that this is such a bigger conversation than myself and my husband, than this woman and her husband, than this couple over here. It is a collective experience that energetically has been going on in this way for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. And so where we get lost and where we get distracted is to put our resentment and our anger and our blame on the very current circumstance that is taking place. Now, this is not to say that inappropriate behavior like cheating or abuse is condoned in any way, because it's not. It's not acceptable behavior. We don't get to say that that is okay. However, the disproportionate reactions that we have because we are collectively carrying a profound amount of trauma around this whole thing, that is the work that, whether we like it or not, we are here to do. It's part of what we came here to do. I'm going to speak for myself. It is part of what I came here to do. As somebody who happens to be in a woman's body, identifying as a female, right? That is just what I'm recognizing on a very, very, very deep and visceral level that I have to face and confront, and it has nothing to do with my husband. Even though there might be behaviors in my husband that have triggered those deep places within me, it is my opportunity to go in and literally purge from the depths of my cells and consciousness something that has nothing to do with him. And it's so big, and it's so painful. And it makes sense that we would want to run in circles and distract ourselves with resentment and blame and pointing fingers, but the only issue with that is that we are then perpetuating the cycle. So if we keep playing that out, then we're playing out our role in that whole dynamic. And so yes, they have their work, no doubt, and so do we. And part of our work is this deep, deep, deep purging. So when something shows up and my mind so badly wants to put it on my husband, if my husband would just X, Y, Z, then I would feel safe, and then I would have a sense of security, and I wouldn't have to feel this pain that is coming up. And instead, I get to say thank you to my husband, thank you to that part that still hasn't fully been healed, transformed, or evolved, because that shortcoming, that wounded place, that whatever it is rubbing up against something in me that is showing me something that I need to tend to. And so I can take myself away from that moment, and I can sit with and hold space for and be the container, the loving witness of that pain, and give it the space that it has been wanting for God knows how many generations. This is what it means to sit in the fire and to allow these moments, these triggers, these situations to be the medicine that purifies myself, my experience, my pain. I had to walk away from situations and literally get in my car and just release rage, like from somewhere where I don't even have any words for. It's not like a body part. I don't even know how deep that could go. But purging that, I have wept from somewhere so deep inside myself. So deep. And I have purged. And so much of that has been directly because of how triggered I've gotten in my relationship. And so here we are as two beings, both extremely wounded when we came together, after doing so much transformational work in this community and that community and this therapy and that therapy, and we thought we were golden, ready to be in the most loving, safe, peaceful, high consciousness relationship you could ever imagine. And guess what? The deepest stuff that we never even knew that we were going to get to, because there was no space for that up until the point that we came together, came to the surface. It was like being wrung out, literally. It's some of the most intense, excruciating at times, painful work, and it has been the most liberating. And so, this is not to say stay in abusive relationships. It's not to say that. But it is to say, for myself, I have had to recognize that there are very specific things that I continue to pull in as my experience. And I can either be angry at that and put it on the current avatar and stay hooked into my perpetual trauma and my story and my experience and keep recreating that. Or I can finally allow one of these moments, one of these dynamics, one of these relationships to be the key that unlocks the depth of my fucking pain, and to sit with that long enough till I can really clear it at its depths. And man, it is no joke. It is no joke. That fiery rage, there is a part of me as a woman that the injustice, the betrayal, the lack of accountability, there is something so deep about that. And so I acknowledge that. My sisters, I love you, I honor you, I see you. And for those of you who are stepping in and doing this level of purging and clearing and transmuting, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm going to keep doing it too, till my very last breath. I will keep clearing. And I'm going to be in joy too, because we're here to do both.